peoples in the region now called the Northeast India to enjoy a semblance of independence, similar to the position they had before the signing of the tripartite peace treaty of Yandabu, signed on the 24th February 1826 among the British India, Myanmaris and the Ahom king. After signing the Treaty of Yandabu, British India government under the administrative systems of partially excluded and excluded. Under these systems, large amount of autonomy was given to the hill tribes kingdoms, especially to the kingdoms governed under the excluded areas system, Naga Hills, Lusai Hills, and a part of Khasi Karbianglong Garo Hills and a part of Khasi Jaintia Hills and a part of North Kachar Hills, now the Mahasau, were governed under the system of partially excluded areas. I still remember the visit of His Majesty, the King of Karbi Kingdom, along with his ministers and the Karbi High Priest to our house in the 1950s. They came wearing their royal robes and golden necklaces. It was under such background the 6th schedule to the Constitution of India was made. The 6th schedule has been made as a mini constitution or a constitution within constitution as stated by Justice B.L. Hansaria and Chief Justice Muhammad Hidayatullah of the Supreme Court of India respectively. Constitution of a nation is a legal framework for building or constructing an independent nation. So, a mini constitution is a mini legal framework for constructing or building a mini nation. The tribal areas mentioned are meant to be mini nations, but these are not called nations because of India. A nation must be administered, and a democratic nation must be administered by the power of the people. Demos, people, kratos, power, democracy. Before anything can be done in the mini constitution, in the mini nation, by the authority of the mini nation, a mini parliament must be created. So, an autonomous council is created by paragraph 2, subparagraph 1, to administer democratic norm, because the king has been replaced by power of the people. To constitute the autonomous council, members who work in the autonomous council must be chosen. We must not forget that the council is an autonomous council, a self-working council. So, a law for electing members of the autonomous council must also be made by the self-working council, not by any other power outside 6th schedule. The Assam Autonomous District Constitution of District Councils Rules 1951 made by the state government were only for forming the first members of the Autonomous Council must be made to prove that the council is autonomous. And the autonomy is provided only for the Hills tribes people previously, because it is they who needed to protect themselves by their own political power. It is not constitutionally appropriate to talk about making any other law before making the law for conduct of elections of the autonomous councils and for preparation of voter list for election of the autonomous councils. If the autonomous councils are not constituted by law, made by the scheduled tribes themselves, then the so-called autonomous councils are not constitutionally autonomous councils, and all the other laws that may be made by the so-called autonomous councils cannot protect the scheduled tribes, because if the lawmakers are not scheduled tribes people, there is a strong possibility that laws would be made under pressure of non-scheduled tribes people. In such so-called autonomous councils, the political power of non-scheduled tribes creeps in surreptitiously in every sphere. It has actually happened in Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council. In the first interim council, in the first interim autonomous district council, a non-tribal man from Borpeta was made deputy chairman, and 4 non-scheduled tribes. Mikir Hills Autonomous District Council in 1952. As a result, instead of making land revenue law by retaining the traditional land and revenue laws of Karbis and other hill tribes, the then Mikir Hills Autonomous District Council accepted the Assam Land and Revenue Regulation 1886, which was imposed by the government of Assam. This resulted in the automatic cancellation of all the land patas of the hill tribes people who had already received patas from traditional chiefs under traditional administrative system of the tribes. Even today, thousands of hill tribes people are declared to be encroachers of land for which they had received pata orally from their chief hundreds of years before. The name of my father, who was the village headman of our Tika village, the authority to give land patas. He is the authority to give land patas in that place. Also is found written in the Chita, that is field index, as an encroacher. Even my father is declared encroacher. Thousands of tribe people inhabiting all over these tribal areas, including on both sides of the National Highway 4-lane between Doboka to Dimapur, were tribes patadars of lands for which the tribes people had village headmen and Servan kept and other traditional village councils of their tribes. Due to adoption of the Assam Land and Revenue Regulation 1886, their rightful of their king were automatically cancelled. In fact, ALRR 1886 was imposed by the Assam government, and majority of the tribes people who had traditional patas were made landless as a result of 6th schedule because of non-implementation of 6th schedule. Cancellation of traditional patas and making tribes people landless could happen because land and revenue law was not made by the Mikir Hills Autonomous District Council as empowered by paragraph 3 of the 6th schedule to the Constitution of India in the way the makers of the 6th schedule wanted. In 1959, instead of making laws to protect land for tribes people, to enable non-tribal people to acquire lands of tribes people, a land and revenue law called the Mikir Hills District Transfer of Land Act 1959 was made by the Mikir Hills Autonomous District Council. In 1969, more power was demanded by elected Congress MLAs and MDCs, including 2 ministers, and rejected autonomous hill state. But in demanded more power, received less power by empowering Assam government to prevent the autonomous district conducting council elections and preparing council voters list by inserting with the approval of the governor in para 27 of the 6th schedule. Even for introducing the bill in the autonomous district council, even for introducing all, but they thought that they got more power. In 1995, para 3 was diluted by inserting alienation of land in a new para 3A, clause O. This insertion lowered down the 6th schedule, a mini constitution, to simply a Land and Revenue Act. See how it happened. In 6th schedule is a mini constitution, but by inserting land settlement matter in it, it was brought down to the level of an act, a Land Revenue Act. That it happened because from the beginning in the Constituent Assembly itself, opposition to 6th schedule was very strong. So they took any opportunity to make it weaker all the time. Even today, 6th schedule, a mini constitution is now legal terms like transfer of land, settlement of land, etc. are to be put in the Land and Revenue Act, which is actually yet to be made under paragraph 3. Anti-6th schedule tribes elements where
we have 2 minutes
to
find out.
Then it is very long. I don't know, light also something has happened. Will you give me concession because of the light? No, I will then just speak like that, I think.
Yes.
Words like settlement. Oh. Words. No, nothing.
But you are audible, sir.
Words like settlement or transfer, etc. are to be written in an act, not in constitution. If you read the whole of Constitution of India, there is no mention of settlement of land or transfer of land in the constitution. Because it is a constitution. Constitution is for building a country, not for land settlement. Now we thought that this 6th schedule is an act to protect culture, this and that thing. It is not that. It is not culture matter. It includes the whole of the nation. That means it includes culture also in the constitution. It is automatically included. Now another point. This has happened in the 2 districts of these things. I don't know where I left it. Here, the scheduled tribes people are reduced to abject poverty now. 90% of the dwelling houses of scheduled tribes are made of bamboo and mud plaster with torn walls and damp earthen floors on which the children sleep. In their kitchen, cities are appointed as teachers who do not attend the schools where they are posted. The elected members do not appoint local scheduled tribes persons as teachers because they are afraid of losing next election due to heavy increase of the voters of non-tribes people. This is the result of not making election rules by the Autonomous Council composed of members of the scheduled tribe. A large number of scheduled tribes people are denied of having polling station, LP schools near their villages. Many have to walk up and down through the hills in forests, the distance of 7 kilometers or 60 kilometers or 70 kilometers to be scheduled tribes members. All other laws to be made under the 6th schedule cannot be made for the benefit of the scheduled tribes. This has been 6%. And now in 2021 census, it is reported we are according to law of natural justice, it is no more a tribal area. See, this has happened. And now we are afraid. Our elected people are afraid of non-tribal people. So they are afraid to make any law also. They are afraid even to appoint tribal people. The Chokida dispute. They pass a law, direct recruitment law. Nobody opposes it. MLAs are afraid to oppose it. The Constitution of India by Article 243D has given freedom to the tribes, to the scheduled tribes to retain and utilize their traditional village council. It means that the Autonomous Council constituted by the 6th schedule must make laws to retain and utilize for all government purposes the traditional village councils of all the scheduled tribes of different names. The Karbis have Tirupunu Songsa clan, Dimasa have Raji Naisoko, Kuki Mar tribes have Tulsung Vaisa, Siam tribe has Mukpom Chauban, Garo tribe has Songko Nilgapa, Khasi Jaintia has Darbash Nong, Iwa tribe has voted by elections in earlier days. Panchayats have been modified and improved. It is no more a 5-member village council. Panchayat, 5-member council. But still we call it Panchayat. Panchayat has become a number. Likewise, if the Panchayat more than 2000 years old, they modified it and improved process and everything of the government, why not our traditional village council, Serwan Care? It can be used. We call it Serwan Care, but actually there are 12 members. We also. So I don't know, about 50 or 100 years ago, this was amended. That is why, although it is called Serwan Care, the members are 12. Now we can increase it to 16.
Sir, we are sorry, we
Yeah,
have
just ending.
so that they have some questions.
Yeah, just ending.
Please make
Yeah.
sure the
Therefore, as
articles are
mandated,
given.
yeah. Therefore, as mandated by paragraph 2, subparagraph 7 of the 6th schedule, and as per judgment passed by the Honorable High Court on 13/7/2008, Council by whatever name called alive. Will let us keep our traditional village council alive and working to retain identity of our tribes and for progress. Thank you.